So wait a minute. So how many children do you have?
I have about 16.
You say 16? All right. So I'm going to give you a test. You say you have 16 children. What are their ages?
Oh, God.
I'm very fair, but I've sent people to prison in wheelchairs before. And it's
Not in the state. I'm 18.
oh, where will you be?
Anaheim. That is spring break.
Oh, is that spring break for you?
Yes.
Do you have children? Do you want to be there for spring break? This case is over a year old. The motion for continuance is denied. Court is going to sentence you to 8 years in the prison.
Judge, did you say 8 or 18?
18.
And Fiesta starts next week, so it's the best time of the year.
Yes. Well, isn't that what they sing for Christmas? It's the most wonderful time of the year, but I guess in San Antonio, the most wonderful time of the year is Fiesta.
It's just the funnest time for the city. Yes, it's a hassle for those of us that work downtown, but it's so much fun too.
Mr. Robinson, how old are you?
69.
All right. When are you going to learn that there are certain things that you can't do? Here you are getting your vehicle pulled over, which I see they pulled you over because out of the 3 brake lights on the back of your car, 1 brake light wasn't working. And when I say 1 brake light wasn't working, I mean that each brake light had 3 lights on it, where you have the white light, the red light, and then white. And then on the other side, it's white, red, and white. So they pulled you over because one of those 6 lights wasn't working. And you're driving around with juveniles in your car and you have a gun in your vehicle that's loaded. That's very dangerous. And you're in your 60s. You should know better. And you should know you're not allowed to have any weapons. You forfeited your right to have a weapon by having a felony. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And then not only that, you're buying a weapon from some guy at a local shop who you said has a drug issue. If you're buying a weapon off of some local guy at a shop and they're selling it to you for what you know is below market value, that pretty much probably means that that gun has not been registered. That gun is stolen. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you want to go to prison?
No, ma'am.
Then you need to start behaving as an adult, following the rules and acting as if you don't want to go to prison, because I will send you to prison, bad knee and all. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And what type of knee surgery did you have?
I had knee surgery back in 2015, and it has a defective part. Striker has defective part, hip replacement, and knee replacement part. So it got infected. It's still infected. They're giving me antibiotics for it. They had the old striker part out and put some new parts in.
Okay, because I thought that was the type of knee surgery. You know, I'm going to be honest. Sometimes men have a knee surgery, and then you have a female who have the same knee surgery, and she's walking around the next day. And so, yeah, John knows it's true. So in this case, now understand why you're not up and walking around.
He's actually in tremendous pain today, Judge. He needs to lie down, and he has like a special apparatus that helps with the blood flow and stuff because he has an infection underneath the kneecap, it sounds like.
Okay. All right. The court will find you guilty, sentence you to 4 years in prison, suspended and probated for 4 years. This will run concurrent with 2021 CR 6001. There's a $600 fine that will be probated. There's to be regular. Oh, you're welcome. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. And Mr. Robinson, once you provide proof of your medical condition to probation, I'll allow him to report by Zoom. And you'll need to get a doctor's letter, Mr. Robinson. If that doctor's letter is telling probation about your knee and the antibiotics, then you'll be allowed to report by Zoom. And probation, while he's reporting by Zoom, I'm going to want field visits at least one time every 3 months.
Judge, would it also be possible for you to lower his supervisory fees? He actually is a caregiver for his minor children. He has a bunch of children and he takes his kids to school and right now he's not really able to, but any mercy you can show him with regard to additional fines and fees and things like that would be greatly appreciated.
How old is his children? Are these his
Dave-
biological children or are these grandchildren?
David, how old are all your youngest children?
The youngest one is just turned 9 on April 10th.
So wait a minute. So how many children do you have?
I have about 16.
I'm sorry, what?
Of them are grown. No, I have about 16. Most of them are grown.
You say 16?
Yeah, I just have 3, 4 that's still in school.
All right. So I'm going to give you a test. You say you have 16 children. What are their ages?
Huh?
What are the ages of your 16 children?
Oh, God. I couldn't even tell you the age of our oldest child.
He cannot tell me the age of his oldest child. Well, do an estimate. So how old is your oldest child?
Gina is about, she should be 50 something. But my sister, she's about the same age as my youngest sister.
So he's in his 50s?
Gina, his oldest daughter is in her 50s.
Yeah.
All right. So the first child is in their 50s. How old is the second child?
Jermaine is 40, should be about 48 or 49.
All right. And then your third child?
Then David, my third child, I haven't seen him because he lives in, well, his brother took him away from me some years ago.
But how old is he about approximately?
He should be 3 years younger than Jermaine.
So he's about 45. And then your fourth child?
Okay, and then April should be 40, 44, 45. Yeah.
All right. Then your fifth child?
Delia should be, let me see, April 44, 45. Delia is a year younger than April. She would be about 43.
All right, number 6.
Denise and Maisha. Well, Maisha is a few months older than Denise. No. Mimi is a few months older than Denise. I have kids that are the same age.
Okay, what are the 6 and 7? What are their ages?
43, 44, 45. Mimi should be 40, 41, 42.
Just a second.
Denise is
41
the
and
same
42.
age, same age. Yeah, Denise is the same age as Mimi. And then Maisha.
All right, number 8.
Maisha should be 30, 31 or 30, 31.
All right, and number 9. Because you gave me Maisha, that's number 8. So who's the 9th child?
No, Chris is number 8.
All right, so then number 9.
Chris is number 8. Chris should be 42. Denise it needs to be about, in a 40, 30, 38 or something like that.
All right, so is Denise your ninth child?
Okay, then, there's, most of these kids are not, I haven't been in their life because I don't know.
All right, so number 10, about how old is the 10th child? Approximately.
Adrian and Lamont, they're in Florida. They should, and it's 28 and 29. It's Adrian and Lamont.
And your 12th child?
Adrian and Lamont. Is that what you said?
Yes, Adrian and Lamont, 28, 29. And your 12th child?
Then there's, it should be, I think, which is, oh, that would be Malaya, Mia, Michaela, and Justice.
And what are their ages?
It'd be Malaya just turned 13. Mia is 12. Michaela is 10. Justice is 8.
Justice is 8.
Justin, 8.
And then
Justice.
Okay, Justice is 8. And then the last one?
No, Justice is 9. She just turned 9 on April the 10th.
Okay.
Is it-
Okay, then my youngest son, I don't know how old he is.
Well, if you had to approximate how old he is, how old is he?
He's should be about 6 or 7.
6 or 7.
Yeah.
So you've been having children since you've been 14 or 13?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
No
Are you
more.
planning on having any more children?
No.
You're done?
Some of my kids are coming back into my life, since they've been gone for years out of their life when their mothers told them that I wasn't no good, and I've actually taken care of my kids.
Okay. All right. So you're going to need to provide proof of employment or disability within 30 days. There's to be no employment.
I'm on fixed income, Social Security.
Yeah. All right. I want you to listen to me, Mr. Robinson. You to provide proof of employment or disability within 30 days, and there's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. And probation and cause number.
Judge, he was asking,
Yes.
he didn't hear David, she said no employment as a home healthcare provider or with minor children.
No, I don't have. I have health care, which my insurance pays for. I have a health care provider.
But you can't get a job in healthcare. Yeah.
Oh no.
Okay.
I can't even walk. I can't even get up.
Okay.
All right. So proof of employment or disability within 30 days, no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. He's going to do parenting classes online, if possible. And minimum supervisory fees. Probation, regular UAs, probation, is there anything else he needs? This is a problem I can't solve.
Thank you very much.
There you go.
All right, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Does this plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. And because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you need to speak to your attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you. Just remain on the screen and probation is going to go over conditions, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
Yes,
I just need his phone number.
Mr. Coots?
Yes,
Just hang on the screen for a moment because they're going to need his number so probation can call him, okay?
certainly. Thank you.
All right, and then next week, Judge Angelini will be here. I'm going to be visiting with Mom.
Oh, good. Tell your mom I said hi.
All right, Ms. Sexton, how are you doing?
Good, Your Honor.
All right, so we have some issues.
Yes, ma'am.
So why is it that you continue, because you're on probation for DWI third, you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And you continue to use alcohol, that's a problem, you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so how are you addressing those issues?
I'm go to with Sakata and through AA just for one. I do 5 steps online and I do my grief counseling also.
All right, could everyone please make sure you whisper? So where are you getting this alcohol from? Is it in the home?
No, ma'am, I left the home. I'm fleeing domestic violence.
Well, no, here's the question though, where are you getting, it says you were staying with your daughter. That's the last report I have. So where are you living?
Right now, I'm just living with a friend. I've been in 5 different places since January 6th.
Why?
On December 4th, when I came home July 14th, on July 20th, they called me that they airlifted my son to the hospital. And he passed away 9 days later.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So I did use in August of last year. And I haven't used since.
No, okay, so here's the thing. You can't be moving from place to place to place to place and not informing probation where you're living, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
And
Probation knows that I'm in a domestic violence situation. I just got a protective order and I brought all the paperwork so you can see.
all right, so here's the thing, and this is what I tell everyone about relationships. You really shouldn't be getting into any relationship until you've got yourself together. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, here's the thing. I'm not saying, I don't believe that domestic violence is your fault, but you got to concentrate on you and not concentrate on others and other relationships, because until you
Yes,
get
ma'am.
yourself together and find out who you are as a clean and sober person, you're not going to find a good relationship. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So where are you staying now?
That was my relationship for 33 years.
Okay, where are you staying now?
Off of Zazamora with Jennifer Gutierrez.
All right, so this is what I don't understand. Why were you staying with the friend if you've been in this relationship for 33 years?
Because when I buried my son in July, the mental abuse with me being sober, you sending me to State P. With me being sober, it showed me that I was in a mental abusive relationship. I went to my daughter's and stayed because after the funeral, we lost her father within 3 weeks of losing my son. So I went and stayed with her to get away from the mental abuse and to try and figure out what I was gonna do. Because upon my arriving at home, they stole $8,000 out of my account, which I have the proof of, out of my account. So I didn't have the money to flee or to escape.
But here's something,
But
what is your plan? Because I understand
so-
all of these issues that you're telling me,
Yes, ma'am.
but
So I have,
based upon my experience, is that people who have drug and alcohol addictions, they have a lot of things to say. It's complicated, confusing, but it's not a direct point from A to B. So What are you doing? Because you're looking at going to prison if you don't get your life together. You
I-
understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So what exactly are you doing to get your life together and not use alcohol?
Legal aid has helped me to do the protective order. They're helping me with housing. And
But that's not addressing the alcohol issue. Here's the thing, I understand that you have outside things going on in your life. And I think it's great that legal aid is helping you. I think it's great that you're getting out of this relationship. But this is a criminal court. You're on probation for DWI third and you continue to drink alcohol. And you have the leg injury, and even with the leg injury and being in a wheelchair, you're continuing to drink alcohol. So my concern is, one, when you're on probation with the court for DWI third, part of my duties is to see what I can do to protect the community, and that means protecting them from having somebody who's still using alcohol. So let's get to the point of, what are you doing to address your continued use of alcohol?
I do a lot of groups with Sakata,
Mhm.
with Just for One and Nooners. I have my sponsor. I did use in August, thinking, burying my son, brought up my mother. And when I woke up, I realized that I messed up all my sobriety.
Mhm. All right, so here's the thing, we're not doing any more excuses about your limited mobility as to why you can't do testing. So there's not to be any more mistesting from her. If there's another mistesting from you, what's going to end up happening, whether you have limited mobility or not, a warrant is going to be issued for your arrest because a motion to revoke is going to be filed and I'm going to sign it.
Yes, ma'am.
And so you will be at the Bear County Jail with limited mobility.
I'm sorry.
No, go
I don't
ahead.
mean to cut you off. I was bedridden and I wasn't able to get out of bed. But as soon as I could, I went to go see my probation officer, and I'm doing my UAs at the clinic now. At the mental health clinic.
Mhm.
And I've already done one of last month.
So
I wasn't trying to miss them.
No, I understand what you're saying, but it amazes me that people with limited mobility, you can't do your UA testing, but you can find time to drink alcohol. So that's not going to happen anymore. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And I understand about your domestic violence situation, and I appreciate that, and I internalize that and hear that. And I'm glad that you are working towards getting into an independent relationship with yourself. But you have to make sure that you do what's required of you for probation. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself at the Bear County Jail.
Yes,
And I
ma'am.
do understand that people have issues that are going on in their lives. I respect that. I internalize what's being said. But at the end of the day, you're on probation and you must do what's required of you on probation. And let me look here. Yes, if you violate your probation, you're looking at potentially 5 years in the prison. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And people will tell you that I'm very fair, but I've sent people to prison in wheelchairs before. And it's just that you'll take your wheelchair to prison with you and they'll provide you with your ability to move around at the prison. But I can't have you on probation for DWI third and you're not taking your test and you're continually to test positive. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Is there anything else that you need from the court in order to hopefully be successful on this probation?
I was gonna see if the court could waive my fees. I've been on my handheld monitor. I violated in August and I called Miss O'Neill as soon as it happened to let her know. And I asked her for help. So they sent me to the mental center. I haven't violated since. I haven't tested dirty. Due to the wreck, I couldn't UA from January till last month. But my financial struggles, I can't afford to pay. I begged, they're charging me from the time that I was locked up in safety on my Smart Start. And I'm having to pay $200 a month. And it's just hard for me to do it. And I begged them to have it, if they could do my regular fees for 135.
All right, Ms.
For
Sexton, you're
July.
wiping your eyes, but there are no tears there. Here's the thing, what's gonna end up happening is, we can see if she can be placed on indigent status as far as the device, or either deferred payments on the device. Just see if they're able to do that.
They can do deferred payments.
All right, so problem solved, deferred payments.
Okay, and my fees, I still have fees from the time that I was locked up in safety.
No, you need to pay your court fees. Here's the thing, I'll waive court fees for people when they've actually been successful in their probation,
I admit that I would.
okay? All right, so once you've shown me that you can be successful on it, then the court will consider those other options, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so no more violations, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck. Probation's gonna go over new conditions with you.
Okay.
My wife got the privilege
I think she may need a chair.
of driving home.
All right. So you drove?
We drove. I only could drive 2 hours on the way back. It's not been an issue.
So how were the children?
The kids were better than me.
All right, so an offer has been tendered. Is she accepting the offer or this scheduled for jury trial?
Scheduled for jury trial.
All right.
Also, Judge, we have an expert. He noticed that we were missing some things from university. I don't think it's gonna really change anything from the perspective of the state. So we would still ask for a trial date, but I just wanted to make the court aware. that
All right,
it's still out
so Ms. Perez, after today, the court is, oh, you can remain seated.
there.
After today, the court is not accepting any plea bargain agreements in this case. So after today, if you're not accepting the offer that's been tendered or no agreement is happening today, then the court will not accept any plea bargain agreements without good cause. Otherwise, you have to fully open to the court. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So how long are you all expecting this trial?
I would say a week, it could go to 2 weeks.
Are there 13-hour videos?
No, just a lot of expert witness.
This will be probably 4 days then. And what we'll do is for this one, we may end up doing jury selection on Monday, we shall see. Ms. Ferguson, I need a jury trial date for this. And could you put this sort of quick, fast, in a hurry? Court is calling 2022 CR 11873, State of Texas versus Yvonne Monica Perez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Brittany Mitchell for the state.
Defense?
Matthew Allen.
Are you Ms. Perez?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you're gonna have to speak up. Nobody can hear you.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Counsel, was an offer tendered to you
Yes,
by the
sir.
state? And Ms. Perez, are you aware of the state's offer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you rejecting that offer?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, what's the jury trial date? No, for the judicial conference. But yeah, can we put it for the 18th? I know what our rules are.
Oh, September?
Yes. Will you?
Okay. Judge.
I'll be not in the state on 18th.
Oh, where will you be?
Anaheim. My son.
Oh, well, you got to spend time with your son. Can we put it for the 25th of September then? And then what we'll do is your other date, we'll do something else.
I will be here.
What day, Judge?
Is the 25th,
That's criminal trial division.
September 25th? What are they trying on September 25th?
That's after gonna run into, Brittany's,
October 3rd, we have another case with very similar and another dead child case at October 3rd.
you have.
What if we were to put it on August 21st or 28th?
28th, I have, criminal trial division on there.
All right, 21st.
Judge, on the,
Oh, you gotta be gone.
no, I'll be here, but I'm expecting to be in trial on the 186. It's well, now it's a sexual assault of a child. The case is about 4 years old.
Oh, we'll see what happens. Maybe they'll drop theirs, right?
Judge, on the 21st, Brittany's in trial with,
That's when we did the impact case with Lee Cutter for Manny Rodriguez.
Okay. August 7th.
August 7th.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have anything, but
I guess my concern would be with, I don't know if we're gonna have the records back for his expert in time for his, I don't know if his expert would even.
I have Mary Diaz. I have several others.
it's ambitious.
But see, here's the thing. We keep setting these cases and stuff doesn't go. So let's just pick a date and we'll see what goes. Either it won't go or either something will be in front of it or it won't.
If we could lock in the November date. I'm not trying to push cases out. I try.
Oh, I
to lock
understand.
cases.
Oh, no, I know you try a lot of cases and I know in here people try a lot of cases because we're in trial every week, but she's in custody and I want this case tried. So, Ms. Ferguson,
Yes, ma'am.
give me a date. That's not in November. October, the latest. And are you Yvonne Pettis?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, this case is set for jury trial. The defense has filed a motion for continuance. And state, according to their motion for continuance, they're saying because their expert is not available.
So last time, just to expand on that, we got discovery, some of the stuff basically has to be put on a drive and mailed, so I mailed it. Expert didn't get it, so I had to remail it, so I haven't had an opportunity, the expert's not available, plus I haven't had an opportunity to review it with him. Conferred with the state, I believe they're unopposed there.
We are unopposed due to the voluminous nature of the discovery.
All right, so as both parties know, I don't like cases to be sitting around. In this case, will have been sitting around for a year. And when I say sitting around, I mean January 13th. Case was indicted and there was no autopsy available, which I don't understand why case is indicted. And I know it wasn't you.
Mhm.
I don't understand why case is indicted and it's a murder case and there's no autopsy, but that's neither here nor there. And then finally on May 25th, the autopsy was completed and everybody needed to review it in order to make an offer. And then June 8th, this court was in jury trial, so we can take up this for trial. And then June 12th, defense attorney was in a federal trial. And then July 10th, that was when an offer was tendered and a plea deadline date was given. And then July 24th, there's an issue with counsel illness. And then on July 31st, the offer was rejected and it was set for jury trial on October 30th. And that was reset. And I'm assuming it was reset because we were probably in a jury trial.
It was either that, Judge, or we've had a lot of discovery issues with it. There were subpoenas that went out and that they said, well, this isn't the hospital that did that particular part. So they
Mhm.
reissued subpoenas. There was doctors who, for some reason, their records weren't at the hospital, so that individual doctor had to be contacted. And so we should have everything now. I came over like 2 weeks ago and brought a hard drive just to read. So I should have at least duplicate copies of everything, just because I wanted to make sure that there's nothing missing. So
All right, so you all understand that unless there's a plea that's going to be entered in today, the plea deadline date has expired and the court is not going to accept any pleas without good cause. Otherwise, you have to enter a plea open to the court. Does everybody understand?
yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And so my understanding, Ms. Perez, is that you're requesting a jury trial. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. So how long are you all expecting this trial?
It's probably going to be 2, maybe 3 weeks.
No, I don't think so.
I
mean, there are a lot of-
2 weeks. There's gonna be a ton of medical testimony. It's gonna be the more complicated.
All right,
thing.
are there any videos?
Ms. Pettis has an interview.
All right, we can go off the record. Now, I always ask about the videos because unless there's a video that is 13 hours,
Oh, yeah.
I don't, yeah, so
Oh, no.
that's how I
Yeah,
judge
no,
it.
no, no.
All right, so is there a video that I need to watch? Is there going to be a motion to suppress or anything of that nature?
There may be a few redactions, but it's nothing, I don't see any suppression issue with the video.
All right, so if there is a suppression issue with the video, we'll carry it with the trial. But if you know you're going to have that, make sure that I have the video beforehand so we can go right into the argument and not keep jurors waiting.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on this case, they're saying it's going to be 2 weeks. I think it'll probably be 5 days testimony. Norma gives me the look.
And Judge, one last thing, we filed a writ for habeas for bond reduction and I don't know, I don't know if this court hears it or if we'll.
Oh, I will
refer
hear it. I don't have the motion though.
I think they had it in the file.
Ah, you know what? I have it. You're right. Are you going to go back on the record? With regards to the motion for continuance, it's unopposed. State, do you have any objection to the form that the motion is in?
No, Your Honor.
All right, then the court will grant your motion for continuance. And what date are we doing this? Counsel is. All right, Ms. Pettis, you're going to be brought over dressed for trial in whatever civilian clothing you have at the jail. If you wish to be attired in something differently, you'll need to do a clothing exchange with your attorney. Counsel, if there's an issue with the clothing exchange, just let the court know and we'll see if we can help expedite that.
Judge, that is spring break.
Oh, is that spring break for you?
Yes.
Do you have children? Do you want to be there for spring break?
I can answer the first one affirmatively. Yes, I have two. The second one, it depends.
All right. Ms. Ferguson? He's on spring break.
You want to do that April 9th then?
We can do it April 9th. But if we do this April 9th, I'm assuming this will be completed before. Let's file an application for writ of habeas corpus seeking bail. She has bail. You're seeking a reduction?
Correct.
All right. State, are you prepared to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor. It is the defense's motion, but the state.
No, I mean, if you're just
Yes.
ready to proceed.
Yes, Judge.
All right. So defense, the bond is set at $200,000.
Yes, Your Honor.
You may proceed. Everyone, I need you to whisper. Please whisper.
She's been in continuous custody, so she's unable to make bond. Her family and friends are either unwilling or unable to help with her bond. Her assets, because she's been in custody for so long, she doesn't have any. She doesn't have any money. She doesn't have a house. She doesn't have a vehicle. And in addition to that, we've outlined two different incidents that happened at the Bexar County Jail where she's been attacked 2 different times. And the most recent one led her to be in a wheelchair and the condition that she's in. She does receive medication from the jail, but they've told her that there's no physical treatment available for her at the jail. And so we're asking, in addition to just unable to afford the bond for medical purposes as well, to be able to get out, seek medical treatment. She would have a place to stay here in San Antonio, Texas. She could be on full monitor house, full GPS, because the case involves allegations where someone's under 18. She would be able to stay at a place that has no children and no access to children if the court, would feel more comfortable with that. So we feel that with those conditions in place, the community would be safe, and she would, with the GPS condition as well, there would be no worry about her appearing for court dates.
All right, state.
Your Honor, as you know, this case involves the death of a child.
All right, everyone, please whisper.
A pretty horrific death of a child. And at this time, they are allegations, but due to the serious nature, we feel that $200,000 is appropriate. But that if the court is willing to lower them, then obviously full conditions, but for something involving something like this, I feel like anything lower than 150 even would be just way too low. It also is a little concerning that no one's willing to help her, because then how is she going to be supported in the community? And that's concerning to the state, Your Honor.
Well, just to clear it up, it's not no one, it's just people, unfortunately, the people that are willing to help are just unable to do so financially. So,
All right, the court is going to deny the motion. And the court has had no evidence on what amount of bond that she is able to make. So at this time, the court will deny the motion. And counsel, if there's an issue, is your client in protective custody?
Yes, Your Honor, now.
All right, if there's an issue at the jail with her safety, just let the court know. But my understanding, she is in protective custody. Beyond that, that's all I can do. And counsel, I've always found them to be receptive if there's an issue with danger. Okay.
yes, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. I see her off to the
Okay.
side. She can stay there.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah, she can stay there. That's fine. All right. So we're scheduled for jury trial today. In this case, the defense has filed a motion for continuance. The court has reviewed defense's motion for continuance. Defense's motion for continuance is denied. Is there anything else?
I guess I'd just like to expand on the continuance.
Sure.
One, I'm just not available. I have some childcare issues, so I put a notice with the courts saying, so my wife is out of town, so I have to be home to get my son. He's only 7. Two,
We'll work around that.
okay, two, we did just receive a new offer today. I've spoken briefly with Ms. Perez about it. I'd like a little bit of more time to go over the offer with her. And then 3, our expert is not here, he's from out of state.
All right, you all have till 11:30 because that's when the jury is coming up. Previously, there was an agreed motion for continuance back in December 4th, 2023. This case has been going on since January of 2023. This case is over a year old. The motion for continuance is denied.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Yes, Your Honor.
Anyone want to say why I should follow this plea bargaining agreement?
I can speak briefly on that, Your Honor. I think for the stipulations, so the way that she came about, Ms. Perez came about to have the child was kind of strange to begin with. She, in my opinion, was, I think, saw these 2 children that were on the streets. Her and her partner tried to help take them in. And then obviously there was an incident that Ms. Perez describes a week prior to this where, again, she should have taken the girl in for medical treatment immediately. And then obviously she fell from the stairs.
Let's backtrack a little
Okay.
bit. Because it says in the stipulations that there were 2 people outside of the store. She says she's being a good Samaritan. So she takes them both back to her apartment. And then she tells one of them, I can no longer keep you here. You need to leave. But I'll keep the complainant.
Yes, her and her partner, so her partner ended up, I believe, keeping the younger boy, and she kept the younger girl at the apartment. And then,
And is this younger boy currently alive?
Yes,
Yeah.
Your Honor.
yes,
And where is he?
As CPS has removed him, he's with other family.
Okay.
the incident described that is the leads to this tragedy, obviously, is Yvonne describes it as she's playing. Obviously, the kid shouldn't be playing on the stairs. We know that. She hits her head and her back. She seems like she's okay as far as checking on her. She's eating, watching
So why was
TV.
she pinching her as a sign of as punishment? Because that's what it says in the steps, that she would pinch her.
Yes, Your Honor. I
Why?
It wasn't like I'm pitching her, just kind of like a grab, like just
It says it
to
left
prompt her.
bruises.
Huh? I'm sorry.
It said it left bruises.
I didn't realize it was gonna leave a bruise. I didn't intentionally do it to like leave that bruise. The little girl, when my daughter was,
and so I think she's describing as, yes, she again is admitting to that. it doesn't matter whether you think it's gonna leave a bruise or not leave a bruise, I think we would agree. And then as far as her actions, she seemed like she was okay, and then the next morning, obviously, she's not, and then drops her off at the hospital, and then obviously does another, another bad thing, just leaves her and then leaves. She does come back, she does sit down with the police, she does talk to them, tell them everything that's going on and what happened. Obviously, at that point, it's too late, but I can speak to Ms. Perez from the day I've been with her for 20 months or so, from the day I've met her until today. Every time I talk to her, she's upset, and it's not because of so much of her situation, it's because of what happened, and she knows that she did wrong. She knows, she wishes she could go back in time and change all of that, and she says that every time I talk to her. And so
Like maybe if somebody's offering you a child, maybe calling the police?
yes, going that far back, it's not one mistake, it's things that happen over and over. And again,
So was the child healthy when she received the child?
I
Was the child healthy when you received the child?
The first one is Joel,
No, I'm talking about the child that is deceased.
I don't,
Was that child healthy when you received the child?
healthy in a sense, she was
Healthy in the
skinny,
sense that
she
she
was
had-
skinny,
Did
we
she have
fed
all her
her.
hair
Did she have all her what? Her hair?
on her head?
Yes, Your Honor, I mean, only like patches, like not patches, but like her hair was thin. Her hair wasn't thick, it was thin. Her hair was thin. And she came when I picked her up when Cassandra told me to go, and when we went to go pick her up, she had like a dirty little outfit. I bought her clothes. I mean, there's a lot of things that I should have done and I didn't do when she first arrived at our home. I should have taken her to get a welfare check. I should have done, and I didn't. I just was trying to-
and like Your Honor said, I mean, the initial thing would be to contact authorities to go through the proper channels. I think CPS was contacted prior to
They
this and made contact with Ms. Pettis, so they were aware of the situation, but again,
Aware of what situation?
that the girl was staying with Ms. Pettis. But
Was
again,
that before or after the child
before,
was taken to the hospital?
before, I believe.
So Child Protective Services was aware that somebody off the street gave her a child, and she picked up the phone and called Child Protective Services and said,
No,
"I have this child."
No, Ms. Pettis didn't. They contacted her. So again, I agree with the court. She should have done a lot of different things.
Well, I mean, I'm just unpacking things a little bit.
Yes.
So,
The mother has extensive history with CPS and had different children taken away, so I think CPS was checking into the whereabouts of Ronnie and Howell.
all right.
It was that.
So that's how CPS found out that the child was in her care,
Yes.
and CPS did nothing.
Parent.
Okay. I mean, CPS workers sometimes, well, many CPS workers are overworked and underpaid, but I'm wondering why would a CPS worker, and this is just a side note, why a CPS worker would leave a child with somebody that a mother just gave to that's a complete stranger. I guess that's something else that needs to be addressed.
Yes, and like I said, the circumstance behind it are, just to put it, I guess, strange, and that's one of the things that I found strange as well, to, I guess, put it nicely. But
So why am I following this plea?
Your Honor, at this point, the state, after much back and forth, we recommended this plea due to what is actually being charged, and what we can prove. It becomes a question of whether or not we can prove that she did not seek adequate medical attention in terms of she has training as an LVN and attempted to keep an eye on the child at home, and it becomes whether or not we would be able to prove that she failed to do so due to how it is charged, Your Honor. And so at this point, we do feel 18 years for what she is charged with is appropriate.
All right, and does she have a license as an LVN? I'm assuming
She did in
does.
the past.
She didn't have, and then I needed to renew it.
It's
'cause I went-
expired, is that right?
Yes, and
Yes.
then I started going to school to EC. Oh, sorry.
that's okay. It's expired.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. As previously stated, the court is finding you guilty. Court is going to sentence you to 8 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's to be no contact with minors. There's to be
Judge, did you say 8 or 18?
18.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just make sure.
Did I say 18?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
It's okay. Matt and I are
Yes,
just.
all right. 18. All right, 18 years in the prison, credit for any time served. There's to be no contact with minors, and there's to be no employment in the future with minors or vulnerable persons. Is there anything else with regards to sentencing?
Not sentencing, we do have victim impact, Your Honor. Hold on.
All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement? Because I followed your plea bargain agreement? And because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing, whether you had your LVN license or not, I saw where you took your dog to the groomers. When a child is sick, you take a child to the doctor.
Yes, Your Honor.
I don't know why. Sometimes people have more love for their animals than they have for little children. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you say there's a victim impact
Yes, sir.
statement?